Hello and welcome to my vvvv Learn Log Day 4. So in today's Learn Log, I want to share how I managed to link between RunwayML and vvvv. So this is the result that I got recently. So this is my live feed from the camera. So this is the video in. And then this part is taking care of the machine learning part, which I'm linking it with RunwayML. So this dplat node is actually a RunwayML node. And then this guy is outputting the image and drawing. And this is the result that I got. So if I press here with different pose, for example, then it will process a bit. It didn't. That's weird. Let's go check out what's happening here. So yeah, the hosted model is not active. So I just have to turn it on. And then I have to wait until this dot turns green. Right now is asleep. Turn red, waking up. Let's wait for a while. Come on. Yeah, it takes a bit of time to wake up, and there's a few different things that you have to remember to understand to get vvvv linked with RunwayML, and I really want to share that quickly. And another thing that's important in vvvv side is that I learned how to separate a task in into a different thread, which is this one called asynctask. So if you type here async, then there's two different types, asyncloop and asynctask, and they're both are surrounding to separate a thread. But asyncloop keeps keeps processing thread, but asynctask will only send the task when you click this bang. So there is an input here, and if you trigger this, then the task will start processing in different thread, which then means is that, oh, right now it's green, which means that even though I press this, machine learning is a heavy process. I'm linking in between RunwayML and vvvv, so it should be a huge task that makes your vvvv freeze. But even though I right click here, it's processing right now, but the editor doesn't really freeze, and this is because it's doing a task in different thread. So as you can see now, I think I've got a different result, but I didn't see because I was playing around. I just turned it on. I don't know why this keeps turning off, but I think you need a ticket to run a model in RunwayML. But since it's accessing from vvvv, it doesn't really require a ticket. But it keeps like deactivating it sometimes, but it's still really handy because you don't have to pay for anything. And of course you can pay if you're interested in understanding deeper in RunwayML and machine learning, but at the moment I just wanted to share this way of doing, so I'm not paying it yet. And also my main thing was to understand what async task is doing. So let's see it again. Okay, now it's green, so I'm gonna change my pose to something like this, I don't know, and then I'll press task, and then as you can see, this dplat is generating, like segmenting my body and the background with different colors, and this is what I wanted to have as a result. So I'm gonna share how to make this. Okay, so let's start everything from scratch. So I'm gonna save it, delete this, and then create an entire new patch. And I'm gonna call this guy RunwayML. Okay, so this is what we're doing. And oh, by the way, if you're not interested in patching everything, Runway. Oh yeah, first of all, I forgot this. We need to install a nugget. So a command line, and then if you go, this is my command line. Oh. And then if you go to find on nugget.org, and if you type RunwayML here, you should be able to find this VL RunwayML nugget that you can install into vvvv. So you just have to copy this line and then go to your command line and type nugget space Control V and paste this line. But then we don't need this package line, so I'll just delete these, and then press enter. Then a RunwayML plugin for vvvv Gamma should start installing. Right now I already have one, so it's saying yeah, it's already installed, so it doesn't take time for me, but it might take a bit of time for you. But once you finish installing RunwayML into your vvvv Gamma, then you should be able to access RunwayML here. So the present box is right here. How do I turn on? There we go, RunwayML. So this is the present box. So if you click this, then it will start activating a RunwayML nodes. But at the moment, there's nothing dedicated to Runway, so we can't access. But please make sure that you activate that first. Okay, so first of all, I need a window to render a preview. So I'll unlock VLSkia for this patch, and then VLSkia has a renderer, so I'll open this one up, and then I want to have two different inputs. First one, two different windows, because I want to preview my camera input and the results. So I have two draw images, and I want to group these. Graphics Skia grouping, so I'll group these, and then I'll connect this one and this one here, and then I'll connect this one to the renderer. So now I see two different quads, but I would like to separate the position, because yeah, I want them one on the top and the other one on the bottom. So this one will go down. Okay, now it's pretty good. So I have two different quads, and for the first one, I'll put a video in. Oh, I don't see any video in. So I want to have my camera as an input source. If you want to have a camera as an input source, you have to activate OpenCV, via OpenCV, and you should be able to find this in the nugget as well. So go to the command line, install OpenCV, and once you have that activated, OpenCV should have video in. Yeah, here we go. So now I've got the video in from OpenCV. So I want to draw this on this draw image, but as you can see, the video in outputs an CV image, and a draw image needs an SK image input. So I'll just convert these to two image. So I go to two image, and then OpenCV conversion. What I'm doing right here is I'm converting a CV image to an image without CV, and then from image node will allow you to convert an image to an SK image. So this one output an SK image, and then this is what it needs. So it's a bit of a weird process, but we need to process this. Once it's connected, I should have Microsoft Livecam Studio input, and then yeah, my camera should be connected, and I'm here. Okay, so the first one is cleared. I've got my camera input. The second thing I have to do is I want to send this video to RunwayML node, and then I want that output to be drawn in this quad. First thing I would do is I would connect a node called resize. And the reason why I have this is because RunwayML is a machine learning model that's doing something behind, and it depends, the fastness of it depends on the resolution you have with your inputs. So, and I don't want it to take too much time to process. So resize, sorry, I had a wrong resize. So resize width and height, this one. Yeah, so here I should be able to resize the image to like 192 to 108. Oh, no, 108. So now if I connect this one to image here, you can see now the resolution is a bit lower. Oh wait, I think I should get it to like 64 times 2 to 48 times 2 because the aspect ratio was weird. Yeah, this is better. So now if I connect this, yeah, it's just low res of the camera input. So now I have it resized. And then next thing is I need a RunwayML node right here to process this and then convert it to a segmentation. To do so, there's a few different process you have to do. First of all, go to RunwayML and open up your window. And then in default, this is what you should see. So let's go find a model that you want to host, and you have to host the model to be able to access from your vvvv gamma. So I'll just go to models, and then I want to have a segmentation model, so I'll just go to segmentation. I mean, you can choose whatever model you want to use. Right now I want to use the one that I just showed in the beginning, and I think that one, yeah, dplab, I guess. So, oh wait, no, don't press here. So I want to access dplab. I'll just type dplab here. And then, so clicking this will make you jump to a different page. So don't click it. Don't click this yet. Click this learn more thing to learn deeper on what this model does, and there is an explanation description about what this guy is doing, blah 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 blah, what the model is based on, things like that. And what I want to do here, so if you go up here, use dplab, there's two different types. One, add to workspace, and if you add it to workspace, you can input an image inside RunwayML, and then you can get the result. But I think you need some ticket for that. And here there's this button called host model, and if you host a model, then you will be able to access from whatever software that you created that can bridge between RunwayML and your software. Today we're going to be using vvvv gamma, so if you host a model, then I would be able to access my own dplab model that I'm hosting. So yeah, command, I'll just keep it to mask all. It depends on your machine learning model, but there's a few difference for dplab, but for some there's only one. So domain, and your model will be available here. Then you can copy. I'll just host the model, and once I've hosted, as you can see, I have two dplabs here and I don't need two of them, so I'll just delete the old one. So if you host a model, your page will immediately jump to this hosted page, and then you should be able to see these information. And so next thing what we have to do is we need to make sure that vvvv gamma knows what's the URL for your hosted model and what's the name of the host model. And there's also another important thing here, and there is an API key for your hosted model as well. And I'm going to delete this one after this learn log is finished recording, so I wouldn't care, but usually don't show this to someone else. So this is what I'm going to be doing. And so once you've finished setting up your hosted model, next thing you have to do is you have to do something in vvvv gamma, is that first of all you have to save this model in a specific folder. And this is really important, so I'll just go to my learn log folder, and I'll call this guy a runway 004 RunwayML patch, and I'll save this one in this folder. So once I'm done saving this, as you can see, it's a bit messy, but this one is the patch that I just created. And you have to make a folder called runway right inside the folder that you just created your patch. So go to new folder and create a folder called runway. I already have it, so I'm not going to duplicate it. And then inside your Runway folder, make sure that you have to exactly correct spell Runway. Don't put RunwayML or something, just Runway. And then inside here, create a text file, text document called hosted models. So I already have one, so I'm just gonna delete it. And inside here, you would have to create a text like this. So here is the name of your hosted model. So right now I'm using this Gene Kogan dplab, and then make sure you have this, how to say, not comma, but this thing. And then make sure there is a space between the URL and the hosted model name. And then go to your hosted model and copy this line. So this is the URL to your hosted model. And then open up the memo pad and notepad. And then I'll just replace this URL to my hosted model. So every hosted model has a different URL. So you have to make sure that you copy the right one, correct one. And then last one, so here, and then make sure that you have this, not dot, I forgot the name, comma, and then space, and then last thing is your API key. So here you have to copy paste your API key. Make sure you don't share this to someone else. So if you go to your hosted models again, go here, edit, and inside here you should be able to see an API key that is private. And here you can click this to copy to clipboard. So I'll just click this, left click, copy the API key, and then I will replace this one to my new API key. And then make sure you save this hosted model.txt with a updated version, and then delete it. No, don't delete it, close it. Okay, so now we're done set up. Right now my hosted model is awake and is active, so I should be able to access it from vvvv. So let's see if that works. So before we didn't see anything inside RunwayML, but now if you type Runway, if the link is all correct, then you should be able to see the node called, mine is called dplab, and I should be able to see, oh, it freezes. Yeah, this happens quite often. Ooh, yeah, I just saved my patch, so it should be fine. But now you should be able to see your hosted model inside vvvv. And if you don't see this, I think the problem is just because you have something wrong, like you forgot the comma, you forgot the space, or this order is wrong, or there's something after this API key or whatever. I'm quite sure. I tried this several times and I had some problems that I forgot the space and things like that. So make sure that you have exactly the right data copied here. And if you still have a problem, and try renaming these to maybe not a capital version like dplab. This name doesn't really matter, so I tried decapitaling these letters and it worked sometimes, and I don't know why that keeps happening, but I mean right now for me it's all good, but I had that problem at the first time when I tried this RunwayML and vvvv, so that could be a case. And also you can yeah, it's still freezing, so I'm just gonna close this guy. Yeah, and on the same time you can host different models here, so make sure that you're pointing the one that you want to access. Like, don't copy the URL for a different hosted model. Make sure that they're on the right place. Okay, so it's back. Okay, I'll just type RunwayML here again. And come on, dplab. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it takes time, but now it's all good. So now I have this dplab guy. So I'll try something first. So dplab, I mean, it depends on what you hosted, but dplab is an image input, has an image input, image output, and depending on your hosted model, it might have a text input and image output, and then you just have to input a text. But here I have an image, And then it has a query boolean, which is like you have to bang when you want this guy to link between, not link, send data to RunwayML and send it back. So I'm gonna make bang for this so that whenever I bang this, the process will start. And then I'll connect the CV image to deeplab, which doesn't work. And here I need 2 image because it needs an image input. So 2 image node, and then I'll connect this guy to deeplab. And then I need to convert an image to an SK image for the draw image. So I'll just connect this guy here. And then here we go. So now make sure that your hostile model is awake. Now if I bang this query, it should output nice results. So let's see. So I'm gonna bang this guy. And here you go. So everything is working pretty smooth. And okay, so it all worked. And yeah, today I wanted to go all the way to asynctask, asyncloop, how to separate this process to a different thread. But yeah, the time limit for my own rule is 20 minutes and it's already exceeding. So I'll put that on my next learn log so that I can share how to spread a task into different threads, so that for example, if you have a bunch of process to generate a particle position or something, then you can spread that task into different thread, and so that your editor doesn't freeze, that kind of stuff. So asynctask, asyncloop is something that I really wanted to share, but I'll put that in our next learn log. And by the way, just before quitting, a few things to share. One, once you have RunwayML Nugget installed, actually how I learned this whole thing is from 2 reference. First one is this one from RunwayML Learn documentation. There was use a model without blocking vvvv, and this one is how I learned how to use asynctask. And so this is what I want to share next time, and it was really great. So if you're interested in learning it, just learn it from here. And the second documentation that I learned from is the one from Node 20 workshop. So there was a really nice RunwayML workshop due to Node 20, which happened end of last year, October 24th. And you can still watch, you can still purchase and watch that workshop that I watched. I already have the account, so if you type Runway here, then this great workshop hosted by Seb was the one that I actually learned how to use this. So this one and the other one, connecting those 2 knowledges actually made me possible to understand how things were working. And so I was playing around, and this is the result I got. So this text to pick runway model, well, kept generating this text based on the image that I feed it from video player. So yeah, it was really good. And there is a lot of resources that you can actually learn. You just have to make sure that you know where to look for and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.